Hello, happy Halloween, welcome everyone. While we are gathering, let me know, do you hear me well? I would like to use this mic. Let me see. Just give me a second. Okay. Let me know everyone, do you hear me well? Do you see me well? Let me know if the sound is good because I will be using this mic this time. I think the sound will be better. Okay, I will give a minute or two till you join. Well, do you see me well? The sound is good because... Okay, just a second and we will start this life-changing masterclass. I decided to give this for free right now, although the recording would be 400 euros, 399, but I believe that this is something that's incredibly valuable, and this work changed my life a couple of years ago. It reflected on my relationship with myself first of all, then it changed completely my love life and my business, everything. Okay, let me know if everything is okay with the stream, with the sound, if everything looks good. Do you hear me well? Do you see me well? I want to know. Let me start with this masterclass. First, I will tell you how we're going to proceed. You are absolutely free to reflect in the comments, to share, your opinion, your insights. How do you feel? If this lands for you? And I want to make this an interactive masterclass. Let's call it a workshop. And this is going to completely change everything for you. Once again, this work, I started doing this work on my personality, and now I directly related this to business, how I lead my business, the things that I'm doing in my business. And here today we are going to do practical work. Let me tell you how we are going to proceed. I will tell you my story, and the idea of this story is that you see yourself in similar situations, probably not the same, but this is, you're going to see how this reflects on your business. Then we are going to discuss how these situations, general mindset, the beliefs that you have are reflecting on your business, and we will work on this topic, which is kind of a taboo. I see it. The reason I decided to start talking more about that is because I'm usually the strategy girl, someone who is completely, totally strategy, but I started noticing that my clients definitely need this work. This is the mindset. There are certain, bottlenecks, certain blockages that live inside of you, and they lived inside of me. When I started thinking, I said, okay, yeah, I also have experienced similar situation, and it was difficult to me. Until I did this work that we're going to do today, things were very difficult for me. my income was not really changing. So today, this is not going to be so much of a strategy work. Yes, I did a direct correlation exactly how you can apply this to your business, but today's conversation that is about, this is the topic: money and me, money and value, how to sell yourself, how to make these high ticket sales. We will make some practical exercises to remove these blocks and to get you back in your full power, because that's really missing oftentimes. For me, it's very important that you do this work. Not that you just listen this while you're doing 10,000 other things, but give yourself the time to listen to every single thing here and do the work. Maybe even watch this 2 times, a couple of times. This is how the work works, not by just listening, but by doing the work. And I know this is a difficult work. I cannot say it's not. But like this work, doing the work, anything that comes to yourself or your business or money, you need to do the work. I know so many people pay thousands of dollars or euros, and I have had clients who pay thousands of euros per month and they are not doing the work. It's not gonna work that way. Now this masterclass is free and you're going to get free access to it for the next 2 days. Then it's going to be paid and it will cost $399, and you're getting it for free. But show up and do the work as if you're paying $399 for it. Because do you know, the thing is it's like someone is explaining you how to play the piano and you say, okay, I understand everything, I know how to do it. And then you sit at the piano, but you don't have the practice, you haven't actually done it, you just did theory. And then you say, it's not that easy, I can't play now. And while you're listening every single thing today, and in general when you work with me, you might say, I know this in theory. I know this. Yes, but if you don't apply it, it doesn't work. If you're not applying this every single day to your life, to your business, it's not gonna work. So the homework from this masterclass is mandatory, not optional. The work only works when you actually do it. And we will be talking a lot about this throughout this session. I also want to say that what we do today is very, very triggering, extremely triggering. You will feel like you get angry. You will be, annoyed at yourself and at other people. Do you hear me? Do you see me? Let me see in the live. Just a second, I don't see the live. Give me a second, please, before I continue. Okay. Okay, yes, we're live. Okay, great. Now, what I was saying, yes. This work today is going to be very fucking triggering. When I was doing this work, I hated myself, I hated the people who were making me feel this way, and I also hated my mentor at that time, but I knew I had to do it. Otherwise, the thing was that I was very willing to do it because I was telling myself, is this how I'm going to live my whole life? And do you know, when you are in an uncomfortable situation and you just live in this situation for a long time, what really helps me is I'm asking myself, is this how it's going to be from now on? Is this how I'm going to live in the next year or in the next 20 years? And this is like instantly you say, no, I'm changing this right now. but you need to be able to hear the uncomfortable truth, to dive deep into the layers, in the nuances, to be able to feel the pain, the anger, the every single feeling that you feel, to give it a time and to say, I see you, I feel you. But you're not doing this like forever, you just do it. For example, let's say today you're watching this masterclass, and after it, give yourself like 2 hours. Write everything down, feel it, see it, admit it, honor it, and say, I'm done with this. I'm simply done with it. Thank you so much. I'm done. And today you might make very strong decisions that you will have to stand by for months. You need to know this, because the moment you set boundaries, today you're going to want to set many, many boundaries at a completely different level. You're going to raise the bar a lot. Once you set a boundary, it doesn't mean that people are going to respect it. This doesn't automatically apply it. And you will need to enforce these new boundaries and understand that this work must be done in a very subtle, very feminine way, kindly, graciously. And even if you are men, we have men in the group, even if you are men, don't go with an aggressive approach, you know. If you decide, because men in general are, this is the nature, like more aggressive, don't go with an aggressive approach, but do it in a subtle way, like where you're constantly over time kindly, graciously setting up this boundary, protecting it, enforcing it. And if after this masterclass, after these 90 minutes or 2 hours of work, let's see, you feel tired, drained, or you want to cry, don't force yourself to do anything else. This means that we've pressed your buttons, the buttons that must have been pressed probably months ago or years ago. Because the transformation comes the moment you crack yourself open and you see bottlenecks, you see what is blocking you, you see where you yourself are putting a limitation some kind, or how you are triggering certain situations that are repeating. Like, for example, constantly attracting unaligned clients, or constantly attracting clients who want more and more but they don't want to pay high ticket. So we are going to press these buttons so you see your piece in this work, your part, your responsibility in this masterclass. And in order to grow a 7-figure sustainable business, you need a lot of self responsibility, commitment. You need to be highly emotional intelligent, to not allow certain emotions to, you know, to not react, to be able to say, yes, right now I feel angry because of this and this. I will give myself 1 hour to feel it, to process it, to heal somehow in your way, and then I'm moving on. After this masterclass, you will stop reacting to what's happening. You will be the one who is protecting, the one who is making sure certain situations do not happen. So you do not have to react, but you're prepared in advance and you're simply not allowing certain situations. Here you need to be ready to hear the truth, even if it's painful, even if it's uncomfortable. So many people desperately need to hear the truth, but they just don't want to hear it. And this makes you uncoachable. This is blocking your potential, your success, your ability to grow your business. So I want you to be ready to hear the truth that will transform your life and business. Not shrink away or say, oh, I already know this. Yes, we all know it in theory. But the hard stuff, the difficult thing, is to do it every single day. And trust me, I know how difficult it is to do it every single day, especially when you have so many one-on-one clients, when you have groups full of people, when you have a couple of programs running simultaneously, at the same time you're launching something, at the same time something in your personal life happens. I know, I'm a human. I am exactly there. Okay? So, the next thing I want to say, yes, if you feel like exhausted or emotional, give yourself a little bit of time. Take, it's Friday today. Take a day or two to feel it, to reflect, and then start taking actions in small steps. Don't think you can just snap your fingers and everything will change. This is long-term work. As I said, you need to do it graciously, calmly, from certainty and from commitment, from you being not this loud energy, but subtle, commanding. Let's go it that way. After all the work we are doing here, you will be irritated. Things here will irritate you. You're going to say, oh, I hate this beach marina for pressing these buttons. I have frozen this for ages. But once you work on it, once you become aware, all the things we are doing here are not, this is not about judging yourself or shaming you or making fun of someone. Totally not the goal, not the idea. The idea is not to make you feel bad. The goal here is full transformation of how you run your business, how you lead, how you make money, and how you step into the next level. We are going to raise the bar significantly. Even though this masterclass is free, it has the power to completely transform your life and business. Another very important clarification. Now you will see where you allow people, your clients, the online noise, and everything happening in the world in general to guide you instead of you leading it and taking an immediate action. One more time, the idea here is not to go to a client and say the price is tripling tomorrow. Do it thinking about how your business structure can handle the upgrade. You need to plan carefully and to execute with precision. Otherwise, it's not going to work, or you're going to collapse somehow your business. So be careful. It must be done in a subtle and refined way. Make yourself an action plan. This is what I would say. Make yourself an action plan. What's the most urgent? Like, what will you do first? What is the most urgent and important? What is important but not so urgent? And then start taking action step by step. These are a couple of notes that I want to make. Excuse me. And now let me proceed to telling you my story. Now, you're going probably to recognize yourself in these certain situations that I will be revealing, let's say, because I am not speaking of this part. You're not used to see me in my vulnerability. You're used to see me like the strong leader, which in general I am. But I want to tell you that a couple of years ago, I was the pumpkin, the Cinderella. And this masterclass was inspired of, because of Halloween right now, because of I heard something about Cinderella recently, and I started thinking how Cinderella, how the card turned into a pumpkin, and I realized, and I was doing some more inner work on myself, and I recently realized that I have done such a big transformation. This is an incredible transformation, having in mind that I have been the pumpkin in all aspects. What you see now, this confident, this powerful woman helping others make millions, was once a pumpkin, and it was not that long ago. I will be sharing different stories of my life that directly affected my business. I want to stress on this because you're thinking that life and business are two different things, and I was thinking this as well until I collapsed and I realized I cannot run my business like that. So once when I changed certain situations, I instantly attracted more money, better clients, and everything started running smoothly in my business. But it started by changing my habits, my mindset, how I do things in general. Now another note I want to make is that I will be sharing my perspective, my understanding, my point of view, my experience, based on my personal and professional experience, based on my corporate experience, based on my experience as a consultant for different global companies on their marketing, sales, leadership, based on working with hundreds of coaches and entrepreneurs, okay? And I want to clarify that to step out of this role, I worked for years on myself. And I didn't just work with a business coach, I worked with psychologists and therapists. So I'm not claiming I'm a psychologist or therapist, but I have been through probably 10 years of work with psychologists, with therapists, with different courses, constellations, doing the deep work, all of it. So the thing is, what I want to say is that this work is very multidimensional. It's extremely layered. There is no one secret sauce. And maybe you're going to find yourself in some of my stories or something similar that is going to shift your perspective. Maybe you're not going to resonate with it. That's fine. When I talk about this part, don't take it as a deep psychological work, but open your mind to hear it. Maybe you're not going to agree with everything that I say, that's fine. Once again, I'm speaking from my experience and how I navigated all of this pumpkin situation, and take what resonates right now and let go of the rest. Do not take the things that currently do not resonate with you, that don't land, and you can come back to this masterclass in 1 month and you might hear different things. When I share my stories, you might wonder, why is she telling me this? Like me, I'm not a person who loves personal stories, but you're going probably to wonder, what does this have to do with my business? But your business is a direct reflection of your inner power, your inner world, and how you in general manage your life. Let me know in the comments, how do you hear me, how do you see me, what's landing, what's not landing. Even if you're catching the replay, put an emoji in the comments and let me know. And let me know what's resonating, what not, your insights. Now, if you allow everything and everyone to control you, to drain your energy, to judge you, to insult you, or to use you somehow, that will also be reflected in your business. If you allow this in general, then this means, how is this playing out in your business? If you allow this in general, this means you allow to the algorithm, to comparison, to someone else, she, a mentor, the industry, a client, to influence how you lead and how you make money. And as you listen to this story, think about where similar situations exist in your personal life and how they impact your business. Where are you giving too much energy, too much emotion? You are reacting again. Or your time to things, like even thoughts, Sometimes it happens to me to sit by myself and think something like, why this person acted like that? Why didn't they appreciate me? And then I realize and say, look, girl, you don't have time for this anymore. Let it go. Because do you understand that me sitting in this energy, this negativity, from this frequency, what am I doing? I'm not showing up powerfully. Instead, I'm playing out scenarios in my head. I'm not writing a powerful message. I'm not speaking to the person who gets it and who is ready to pay me 50K. It's just, and tell right now, say, I have no time for this. I'm not interested in that drama. And this relates not to tell you to not you telling it to someone else, but telling this to yourself, to your thoughts. Because if you are letting this frequency inside of you, this is leaving no clean, strong, creative energy. There is no space for this clean, strong, creative energy for your work and your business. And this is very crucial. This relates to parents, children, family, friends, clients. Again, online noise. Someone who is even your mentor. Sometimes it happened to me that I'm giving away my power to a mentor. Who and what is taking from you or weighing you down? Where do you lack boundaries with this? And first, boundaries are first with yourself, always. Boundaries with yourself. Telling yourself, I have no time for negative self-talk, for, wasting my time with old situations that happened, that were annoying, that were, not giving me credit. But this is first telling no to yourself, because that directly affects your business. And let me tell you a little bit of my journey. This is going to be very raw, honest, and vulnerable. Once again, I have pretty much never shared it before. When I say I was a pumpkin, here is what I mean. Somehow, someone else was always the one who profited on my behalf and instead of me. Even when I had done 80% of the work, even when I had done all the heavy lifting, the strategy work, the the leadership work, leading the team, pushing everyone to do their job on time, and someone else was benefiting this on my behalf. I didn't sleep for days. I was like a whole week running like a crazy chicken here and there to do things for the clients, to do things for my family, for anyone else. I was sacrificing my personal care time, not going to the gym. And in the end, Marina was no one. Marina had no, sorry, I thought of something. So Marina was not the one who did this. Marina was not appreciated, and I was constantly in this situation. Same with men. Another woman always ended up with the man I wanted. Or like I worked like a horse, like 12 hours, 18 hours in my corporate job. My results were out of this world. All the brands I was responsible for were breaking all the benchmark. marking the highest sales months ever since this brand was launched, and still they told me I wouldn't get promoted. I often heard, "You're the only one who cares," or "It's not for someone like you," or "This is how I felt." I don't know, maybe I don't hurt it that much, but I always felt like that. As if I'm not allowed to have the success. And I was doing so much work, and for everything and for everyone, and in the end, that was not honored. That's why when I'm telling you the key to make multi 6 and 7 figures is not doing more. And in 60-70% of the cases, I got screwed over. The men I attracted were toxic or simply didn't like me, because there was a huge part of me that was insecure, that didn't believe I deserved the money, the love, the success, or whatever you wish. And of course, this directly reflected on my work at that time, my corporate role as a brand manager. Later, this happened to me in certain ways in business, but once I stepped in business as an entrepreneur, as a mentor, I have already done all of this work, so the situations were like at much smaller scale, not that significant. But anyway, I'm still learning in this journey. And here is one clarification. You can be number one in your work, in your business, but zero in your relationships. That's where I was. And that worked till a certain point. I know many of you are going to say business and relationships are not related. Yes, this is my philosophy as well, but I will tell you something. It doesn't matter to a certain point. Until you burn out, until you had a great day, great results today, and you have no one to share it with. Or until, I don't know, something bad happened today in your business, you had an awful day, and you have no one to share this with. Until you are exhausted, crying into your pillow. And subconsciously, again, we are not realizing this, but subconsciously that drains your energy, including your financial energy, because you're giving your power to other things, and you need that energy to fuel your business. Do you get it? Like, your energy is what is pouring into your relationship, family, I don't know, husband, fiance, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you have, your family, anything, and then your business. You need an extremely big amount of energy to fuel all this. And if you give even a piece of this energy into negative self-talks or crying or being exhausted, that is costing you. And this is reflecting on your business. And eventually, this could lead to you collapsing because there is no balance. And even if your business is greatly set up with sales automations, with funnels, with a great sales system, if you are too much too much distracted in your personal life, that would work to a place. But if you don't have the energy to lead this business to grow, at some point that's going to play a very negative role. So once again, I'm saying all these things that we're not discussing usually, with the idea for you to see and acknowledge it with love. To be able to say, yes, I'm running on cortisol and adrenaline. And it might work now, but there will come a moment when this thing is going to collapse. Okay? In one or another way. the idea here, the goal is for you to understand how these things are sabotaging your business and how this shrinks your influence. Because this part often has a protective function. But when it's not toxic, it keeps you safe. If it's toxic, if it's too much, if it's not balanced, it's going to burn you out in one or another way. When it's not toxic, it keeps you safe. But for it to work properly, it shouldn't be in charge. It should simply give you signals, red flags. Okay? And what happened, I started doing a lot of inner work. So when I did this work, I first of all stopped expecting that someone owes me something. I first had to do it with my mother and father, of course. Because what happens is that when you have expectations to these people, you expect that, I don't know, a client should appreciate you more, a client should pay you more, a collaborator should do more, a partner of yours should share a bigger part of the revenue with you, and you constantly have expectations. You might have even expectations to the algorithm. And this work, in order to get out of this pumpkin stage, you need to say, I am enough. I have everything I need to grow my business, to scale my business. I can learn new skills, or I can hire someone to help me. And here comes the next part, the second part, where we will be doing actual work. And now I want you first to say out loud and then to write it by hand. I want you to say, I commit to myself and to my success. I commit to myself and to my success. I am a high value, classy woman or man and mentor, or your role in your business, like mentor, expert, designer, photographer, coach, whatever. How does that feel? When I first did this work, I was like, I cannot say it. And here notice, is this triggering? Is this blocking you? Say, I commit to myself and to my success. I want to know how do you feel in the comments, even if you are watching the replay. I commit to myself and to my success. I am a high value, classy woman or man, and your role in your business, and mentor, let's say, or coach. The power of my business success depends entirely on me. The power of my business success depends entirely on me. My own actions determine my success. My thoughts, feelings, decisions, and actions are in the same direction. Now this is very, 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 I even cannot express how important this is. There are no words to put for this. You must understand that these four elements must always move in the same direction. Your thoughts, your feelings, your decisions, and your actions. For example, you cannot be beating yourself up in front of the mirror in the morning and then show up in full power on a live on IG or Facebook. That would not work. Or you cannot say, like, I'm number one, I'm the best, and to feel like powerful, and at the same time do not make decisions and actions that support this. You get the rule, right? And this is always rule number one for sales and for high ticket sales. Full inner power, full capacity to receive, feeling like I am number one, full energy, very focused thoughts, feelings, the decisions and actions in one direction, very focused. Blinders on, I have no time for distractions. I am number one, I have to sell, I have to make, like, I will make 50K this month, 100K this month, and committed. Okay, what do I need to do? I need to post powerful stories. I need to do powerful lives. I need to spend more time with my community. For example, these are just examples I'm giving. But thoughts, feelings, decisions, and actions in one direction, fully committed, very focused and clean. And so many of you, I see this with my clients, even people who make, let's say, 200K per year or above, they're so scattered, they're so chaotic. And when I tell them, okay, stop doing all these 10,000 things, you're doing 1% of each, focus on 3 or 5 things that you can do 80, 90, 100%, and the result is completely different. You are oftentimes changing the strategy every other day. No, stick to one strategy, be focused, be committed, clean energy, very clean, powerful frequency of your thoughts, feelings, decisions, and actions. That's how I personally started, and how I work with my clients, and how I reframed my, let's call it, queen vibe, because we're speaking from pumpkin to queen today. The first step is committing to yourself and your success, and not shrinking. This is aligning your thoughts, feelings, decisions, and actions all in one positive, result-oriented direction. That part, once again, this is not very easy to do every single day. Maybe you're going to do it 3 days in a row. On a fourth day, I don't know, you're going to have a headache or something bad that you can't control happens, or someone annoys you. But this is here the kicker. Once you say, no, I choose to stay in my positive power, result oriented direction, my clean energy, my clean channel, and I have no time to deal with someone else's bullshit, or I don't have time to pay attention to the algorithm when I know there are 5 people that need to hear this today, and I'm going to show up and speak to these 5 people as if we are at the same table having lunch, and I'm going to tell them what they need to know. And you need to become very conscious of all these things and all the actions you take. Very, very conscious. Start noticing. And this is again, the examples are not business related, but this is how it works and how the quantum energy works. Think, where did you skip a meal or a workout to answer a client, for example? Where did you dilute your messaging because you saw someone else online saying the opposite of what you believe in and what you're teaching? Your role at first at this masterclass and for the next week or month is to start noticing where you are shrinking and to stay committed to your new promise, to stay in line with your commitment and result oriented goal. And then I want you to start reframing what you believe about money and business. Now, this is another exercise. It is again, you can do this forever. Like, I'm constantly doing this. Every year I'm doing this. Sometimes twice a year. I'm reframing what I believe around money and business. And now I want you to write down all the limiting beliefs that are currently stopping you. Don't tell me like I'm going to do it in my mind. Write it down. And here, very important, when you're scaling, there will be certain beliefs, strategies, people, anything that helped you get where you are today. Okay? So some of these beliefs, maybe they are not bad, you know. These beliefs served you very well till now, but no more probably. Maybe you're using outdated messaging. Maybe you are using outdated cold outreach strategy. Maybe you are posting in some dead Facebook groups, or maybe you are, I don't know, whatever. Think what's relevant for your business. Maybe you did a lot of money by showing up every single day on stories, but now this is draining you. You don't want it anymore. That's not working for you anymore. You want more time freedom. You want to focus on other things. You want to grow your brand in a different way. So showing up live on stories or like every single day is no longer what's working for you. And in this situation, maybe you should think of starting with some paid ads. Maybe till a certain moment organic work perfectly for you, but no more. Maybe, I don't know, TikTok was working great for you, but now you're seeing something else. Write those down as well and think, is this serving me for where I want to go? For example, for me, such limiting beliefs were money only comes after I've given all of myself to my clients. Like, I'm extremely loyal. I have like very outdated values like loyalty, like honesty, like being very committed, which nowadays is pretty rare. And yes, this made me multi six figures. Yes, this thing helped me to have long-term clients who buy on repeat, resign, high ticket. But at some point, I realized I cannot keep giving like that for this price tag. And I needed to reframe this. To money come to me because of me, not because I give all, everything. Or another limiting belief that I had was I can't make a lot of money I can make a lot of money only through hard work. And once again, this thing made me a lot of money. It did, but at some point I cannot keep working like that. There was a moment when I was single and I had all the time in the world to do it. But now, for the last 2 years, I'm no longer single. I cannot work in evenings now. No, I can, but I don't want to. I feel tired of working 12 hours per day. I feel tired and exhausted if I give too much to people who do not appreciate me. And I see that not always this hard work pays off in the way that it should. And yeah, these two beliefs literally helped me build my business and make a lot of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars and euros. But now at this stage, I see that my loyalty and this overgiving are playing against me. This is not in my favor anymore. And I need balance. I need higher prices. I need less access. I need to transform how I deliver my close proximity, my one-on-one work. So it is even more powerful because I'm going to apply this wisdom that I have now in a different way, in a different format. So it is still accessible to my clients, but it requires less direct access to me. so I don't have to repeat one and the same with every client. And write down everything you believe about money, about business growth, about scaling. All of it, like anything that is, I can't do XYZ, or I can make millions of dollars only if I, whatever. I will be giving you some examples, but now you just apply what is relevant to you. Like it could be something like, if I make millions, I need to be available 24/7. I had this in my mind at some point when I was saying, okay, if 100K costs me this work and these headaches, what would it be if I make 7 figures? Is it going to be worse? And although I am a marketer, I'm a mentor, someone who has been in companies who make multi 7 figures, and I have been the intellectual property, the brain behind doubling the sales of these companies, and I know so many strategies. When it's you, it's totally different. And there will be beliefs that make you think that high income requires constant grinding and no boundaries. Or it could be something like, I can only make money in stories, posts, or public visibility. That makes you feel trapped to always perform or show up for every trend. Maybe it could be, if I make a lot of money, someone will take it from me. Like you're feeling, you are experiencing some fears around the government is going to take it in taxes, or that you're going to lose someone somehow them, or there will be people who are jealous, or family and friends are going to want money from you. And these are external sabotages that are blocking abundance. Maybe you think, I can charge premium unless I give everything for free first. I also had been in this season for a while, but then I decided that I'm going to make a high level entry level offer that is going to be a sample of my high value work, because I was living in a constant overgiving and undercharging, and I was dressing this up as loyalty when in fact it was a people pleasing habit. Or maybe you could think, I can only reach 100K months if I do it all myself. Like that you cannot trust someone else, you cannot trust a team member, or AI is not good enough for me. And this makes you not delegating, you're overworking constantly and trying to do every single thing. And you believe that outsourcing or automation or delegation to someone else is going to reduce quality, but that is so limiting. And think of other limiting beliefs plus things that once served you. And then you need to rewrite this. Rewrite this in a way that is going to serve you. I can make 7 figures without being online every single day. I can make 7 figures without giving everything that I have. I can restructure my offer in a way that I'm going to provide extreme value to my proximity clients. Or I don't have to give 5 hours of my time to someone who just don't get it, and I can start speaking to the people who get it and make sales from my content alone. And I can raise my prices and start working with a next level client. So list these limiting beliefs and let's reframe them. The next thing, one more time, feel free to put everything in the comments. I'm going to check them later and answer you. even if you're catching the replay. If you're catching the replay, put an emoji and comment, because I know for the US, for our US people, it's too early, but for Europe, it's normal time. So anyone who is catching the replay, let me know. Now we are going to move on what you truly want. In this part, it is very important for you to turn off the logic completely. And that was very difficult for me, personally. That means absolutely ignore what is currently possible or not possible right now. I don't want to hear, yes, but that can't happen because, or this will happen when. Turn off all thoughts like, I have a low reach, the algorithm is blocking me, or the algorithm is not favoring me. Only 200 people saw my reel, not 25,000 people. Or she's doing much better than me. She has much better system. She is running cuts. Pause for a few seconds. Close your eyes and be with yourself for a couple of minutes. What do you really want? Imagine an absolutely perfect ideal day. How do you wake up? How do you look? Your hair, your makeup, your clothes, your body, how does it look? Don't think of anything else. Perfect reality. Who are you with? Are you cuddling with the love of your life? Or are you enjoying a couple of hours in the morning just by yourself? What do you want? Are you writing beautiful programs? Or do you enjoy, I don't know, the tech part, doing the tech things for your business, for your clients? How are the things in your business happening? Do not think of anything. Turn off all the logic. Think of your ideal reality. What are you actually doing in your business? What makes you feel truly powerful? What lights you up? What makes you feel fulfilled? How much money is in your bank account? Visualize it. Imagine how much money you want to have. See it growing and growing. Feel the money flowing beautifully around you. Money is an energy. Light, clear energy. Positive energy, positive frequency that vibrates around you. It orbits you. It likes you. It loves to be with you. It feels comfortable in your bank account. So it lands in your bank account. and keeps growing bigger and bigger. What does your ideal day look like? What do you truly want? In your soul and heart, not what's possible. Even if it feels delusional. Say, yeah, I'm the Lulu, I live in my wonderland, and this is happening to me. What is possible? What does your vision look like? How do you imagine your business, your brand? Are you speaking on stages, or you just run it all online and you're free to travel to, I don't know, to teach your people, to make master classes and programs from all around the world? Are you doing it from the comfort of your own home, or are you in a five-star resort, or are you on stages and business rooms, corporate boardrooms? How does your business look? Who are your clients? What are your programs and offers? How much money this brings in your bank account? You can stay in this frequency as long as you wish. You can keep doing this for at least 21 days. So you align with this frequency of money, of joy, of very successful business, but your way. What do you envision for your business, for your clients, for your offers, for your brand? What do you want when you turn all the noise off, when you're not like someone else, when you do not hear the noise? And now come back here after this beautiful visualization. You can repeat this as many times as you wish. Do it for at least 21 days. Ideally, in 100 days, this is going to become your new reality. That is a beautiful practice. I really love it, and it works for the men you want to attract, for the money you want to attract, the business, even the body you want to attract. I have done it with all pieces. And now, think about what truly makes you feel important, significant, and valued. How much do you charge for your group programs, for the one-on-one work? Now, here is more of the business part, more of the practical, strategic work. How much do you charge for your group programs, for one-on-one, for master classes? What number is going to make you feel truly important, significant, and valued? Yourself, not someone else. How do your clients treat you? That makes you feel extremely, fulfilled. You know that this work is changing lives, and this makes you feel so fulfilled, so empowered, so nice. So you keep doing it with love. How do your partners or collaborators treat you? What makes you feel truly valuable, important, and significant? First as a feeling, and then as a tangible thing in your business. Now imagine what you would have and how you would be when you are truly wealthy. When you have, imagine the number, like 100,000 in your bank account secured, or 500,000 in your bank account secured coming each month, or I don't know, 1 million in your bank account and beyond. When you have $2 million months in your bank account coming, do you feel any pressure here in your frontal cortex? How does that make you feel? Step into the delusional vision. Don't think with the logical part of the brain. Maybe the car you drive makes you feel incredible, classy and professional. Maybe the clothes you wear or a designer bag and shoes make you feel classy, important, significant, valued. What is your true value? What do you value? What do you consider luxury? For example, for me, at that stage of my life and business, is true luxury is living in a place I adore, where I feel incredibly safe, comfortable, with plenty of natural light, huge windows, extremely comfortable, cozy and practical, where, love and joy live there. When you enter the door, you feel, oh my gosh, there is so much love and joy here, I want to be here. And this is what I want my fiance to feel and our future children. But at the same time, it's practical. Like, for me at that stage, I don't know, for some time in the future, I would not feel luxuriously and comfortable and to feel valuable like extremely modern and minimalistic home. Yes, I would like my home to be modern, but more on the cozy side, on the practical side, not the latest minimalist design. So think about what is truly valuable for you, what luxury means to you. For example, once again, example with myself, at this stage of my life, a Louis Vuitton bag doesn't interest me that much. Yes, I would like it, I would love it, but it's not what, if you ask me what do you want, I will not say a Louis Vuitton bag. But look, for example, the newest model of Hermes sneakers, yes, I would love that. But for me, in general, bags are not that important. But shoes, yes. This is up to you. There's no right or wrong. It's up to you. Just having lots of designers bags isn't important to me. As a whole, in general, it has never been in my life. It doesn't make me feel very happy or very luxurious or very valuable. As for example, living in a place I adore where I feel safe. This is much more valuable to me. And think about what luxury means to you, not for someone else online. So you stop comparing. So you get into your sovereign CEO energy, and you stop doing and trying to do and wanting to do things that are not important to you. When it's not important to you, your subconscious, your unconscious is just not going to do it. 95% of our actions are unconscious. You need to know this and to simply accept it. Does your car makes you feel luxurious? Is it your home? Is it bags? Is it shoes? Is it, I don't know, 5-star resorts, traveling to 5-star resorts? Or you simply love seeing the world, sightseeing, and it's not that important for you if you stay in 5-star resort, you're okay with 3 or 4-star place. For example, for me, quality is way more important than a brand, and this has always been like that for me. For example, I prefer to buy a genuine leather shoes than pay some world-known brand for fake materials. Same with shoes. I would buy something that costs 200 euro, but that is genuine leather, than paying 2000 for something just because it's a brand. But that's me. You might be completely the opposite, and that is fine. I'm just someone who in 80% of the time will choose quality over shiny objects. Sometimes for some things I would choose shiny instead of quality, okay? But I am aware of this and I'm fine, and I have agreed with myself. And when I see something online, someone flying in a private jet, I say, yeah, that's so cool, but it doesn't make me want it at that moment, okay? For example, when I see someone wearing a Kelly bag, yes, I like it, I cannot say I don't like it. But if I have to choose between buying a Kelly bag or investing this money, I would invest it. For me, expensive doesn't always mean quality. Same with business mentors. I have worked with people who charge way less than someone else who is considered a luxury brand, a high-level mentor. And I got way more value and transformation from this coach who was not charging that price. So for me, expensive doesn't mean quality, and quality doesn't mean expensive. Maybe you're vice versa, and maybe you feel value only when you pay a premium price, and that is fine. I'm not judging you. The point here is to step into your sovereignty, into what is important to you, for you to step in this queen energy, because otherwise you will always be in that pumpkin stage. Some people might say, I want to buy 3 houses and use them for investment rather than going to a 5-star resort. For someone else, they might prefer living in a decent but not that luxurious house or apartment, and that is okay, because they prefer to go on 5-star vacations throughout the year. For example, for me, it's way more important to have money, cash in my bank account that are mine, instead of wasting everything on luxury items, on vacations, or on whatever you wish. But this is me. You might love seeing your, like Carrie Bradshaw, you might love seeing hundreds of thousands of dollars on the shelves filled with shoes. That's fine. The point here is that you get very clear with yourself and to say, this is what I love, this is what I value, this is what makes me feel amazing. And I feel valued, I feel classy, I feel high quality. But not comparing yourself with someone else. So list a couple of examples what luxury, what classy, what makes you feel high value in your business and then in your life as a woman or as a man. Because the things are mutually related. For example, I feel a classy woman when I can have a nice hair all the time, nice nails, although I hate to do my nails. But anyway, like I can go and do facials every month, when I can go to, I don't know, to buy anything anytime I want. I don't care if it's expensive, but if I like the dress or the jeans or the shoes, I can buy them. So in order to feel high quality and classy, I need certain things just to take care of myself. I want to be able to do the fillers. I want to be able to do laser procedures. I want to be able to feel safe and secure as a woman with my own space. And yes, I need money for this. So my business needs to be paying for this. Another example, once again, with the limiting beliefs. Everything that we are doing here is, again, mutually connected. For example, 5-10 years ago, it was important to me to travel to beautiful places, to discover new locations, to go to great restaurants, to have fancy dresses, to go out like every other day and have dinner in a restaurant, to have a lot of high heels, a lot of bags. And that made me feel fancy and luxurious and high value woman. Later that became different. I started wanting to not to have dinners in luxury restaurants every other day, but to take care of my skin better as it's maturing, to take better care of my body, to go to workouts more. Or I started valuing resting more than anything else. In the last 2-3 years, for me, luxury is waking up next to the love of my life. Having a man by my side who values, respects me, adores me, does everything for me. That makes me feel much richer than buying a designer bag, for example. But this is for me. And for this current season, sometimes in different seasons of my life, I feel great working a lot. Like I have this power coming from me, like I feel like a powerhouse, so much creativity, ideas. Like right now, I want to do so many new masterclasses, programs. I'm giving from abundance. I'm giving this masterclass from abundance, and this makes me feel great. And there are other seasons, other times where, for example, I feel tired or exhausted and that I have given so much that the true luxury for me feels like having 1 week off completely for myself to rest. I don't want to talk to people. I want to recharge. So think about what is important for you. Not for me, not for her, not for anyone else you see online or your mother, father, brother, siblings, whatever. What makes you feel important, significant, valued, respected, adored, one of a kind? Like, wow, this makes me feel incredible. What is this luxury to you? And to clarify this and translate it into the business side, what are your business values, your brand values? What is going to make your brand feels valuable, classy, high quality? What is going to make you charge high ticket? Okay. What are the things that put you on this high vibe daily? Like, for example, when I put a dress, when I put some makeup, I feel much better to show up live and sell high ticket. Not every day, but let's say 99% of the cases. Sometimes I have no makeup, not a nice dress, I'm in my home clothes. But I get an amazing idea, I have some energy and power, and I show up live and speak of this offer. So this is where your sovereignty comes from, where your authority becomes 100% certain, where you won't waver or compare yourself to what someone else is doing. This is how you do it. I know we are speaking instant authority, show from audacity, be certain, but how are you actually doing this? This is how you do it. All this directly translates into your brand values and how you're showing up from your full power. This is the work you need to do to stop outsourcing your power, to get back into your sovereignty, into your CEO level leadership. When you say, I don't care what is she doing, I'm doing this my way, this is my brand, this is my voice, this is my messaging, and every single piece of content, program, offer I do is rooted, this is behind it. This is behind it. Do you get it? Let me know in the comments if this lands to you. Ooh, excited! I'm so excited. I love doing this work, honestly. Okay, so if expensive items make you feel in your full power, go for it. Go for it. But then you need to be selling your offers at a higher price so you can afford them, right? I had a case with a client of mine who she was used to charge low ticket, like $49, like even less, 29. And we were working on a program and I told her this should cost $149. And she thought, oh, I cannot charge this. And I said, okay, let's do the simple math. You have the investment in a mentor, me in that case. You have, I don't know, the services she was paying for, I don't know, a landing page, email, and these things. So we calculated how much this costs and how much she has to pay me. And her effort and time that she will put in working on this program, delivering it the way she wanted. And she said, I don't feel comfortable charging that more. Let's charge 39. I said, no, let's charge at least 49 because the math is not mathing. And I saw she was not comfortable with this, but if I had pushed her to put the higher price, and this we're speaking of a low ticket offer, but the logic for your high ticket offers is the same. I just give you this example on purpose to see how there is resistance even on that price. And she started promoting this offer at 49. And in 2 weeks, when she did a couple of lives, when she posted a couple of pieces of content, when after we have had like 2-3 sessions to strategize, to refine the strategy, the messaging, for feedback, this back and forth. And she said, one day she sent me a message and said, you know what, I decided that I'm going to charge $149 for it, or whatever it was. And I laughed and said, I told you so. I told you so. So think of, like, make the math, like, how are we setting the price? The price is set up when you calculate your costs, your time and effort, and then you put the price. The price is not just a price tag, a number. There is, like big companies, once again, in corporate, there is a price policy. You cannot sell something under its value. Like if this costs you $100 euros to create it, you should be selling it at 150 or even 200, even 300. So you can cover the cost of the product, the offer, regardless if this is a service. Because when it's a service, you put time and effort to create it and to deliver it as well. And then you need to put a price that is going to cover the cost to create it and to have a profit. Okay, so think of this expensive items that you want to have, whatever this is for you, and then calculate how much you need to charge. Do a higher price so you can afford these things that you want. This same goes for example, buying properties to feel safe and secure. You need to charge premium prices to make that possible. The most important thing for you is to understand what truly makes you feel in your full power, when and how you feel valued and unstoppable. For example, for me, it is extremely important that my clients respect my work. I give with love, and because I know this and I can help, but I would love to receive some respect. Sometimes I make a low ticket offer to create an entry point, and when the client is truly grateful and appreciative, that makes me feel extremely valuable, so much more so that the price is not so important. Not always. Sometimes the price is what makes me feel respected. Sometimes when a client is nice, respectful, like, grateful, that feeds me so much. It makes me feel very valuable. And right now, this program could cost €1,000 because it is so deeply transformative. If you do every single thing, the result leads to full transformation, not only in your business, in your entire life. But at this moment, I want to give this wisdom for free, like celebrating how much I have achieved, how much I have transformed myself from this pumpkin queen stage. Because I know how much it transformed my life, my business, and I want more people to access it. I feel valuable giving this wisdom from the impact I create, not from the money I receive in this specific situation. Now think about this for yourself. What exactly makes you feel extremely valuable? And I want you to put this in the comments. I want to know what makes you feel extremely valuable before we go to the next step. And we have just a little bit more left. So this will be your homework, to list what makes you feel extremely valuable, and put this in the comments, please. The next step is to identify where you are giving too much and feel unappreciated. Where are you giving not from a place of abundance, but because of this limiting belief? Unless I do this, I will not be valued. This is limiting your capacity and how much money you make in your business. How this is playing out in your life and then in your business. This is where people pleasing lives. Constantly overgiving, constantly undercharging. Where is this happening in your life and business? Think about it and write it down so you can stop it. And here is the part that is extremely, extremely important for you to go from a pumpkin to a queen, from someone who is just another coach, to the brand that is unforgettable, to the CEO who scales companies like that, from someone who is just showing up online to someone who commands the algorithm, the attention, who has the ideal clients, finding you every single day, hiring you within 24 hours, and then leading them so powerfully that they want to keep paying you. Because not that they want to keep paying you, but they love your work and your leadership so much so that they want to stay in your world for a year, for 2 years, for 3 years. This is the difference between giving everything you have and being loudly paid for your work. Where are you delivering something extremely valuable now? The other scenario. Where are you delivering something extremely valuable, but you are not setting the correct price or value for it, and therefore you're receiving less? For example, this happened to me a couple of times. I did way more for clients or even partners, business partners, but I didn't have clear contracts. Who here is in this situation? So this means I devalued myself and received far less, even though I was doing 10 times more than what I was being paid for. Whose fault is this? Very much mine, because I devalued myself, because I worked and I delivered my luxurious mentorship, the privilege to work with me and give you and plug my IP, my intellectual property, into someone else's business without having everything clearly set up with my lawyers, accountants, without checking the details, without having clear terms and conditions. And of course, the other side is partially guilty because, for example, when it comes to partnerships, they promised. Or when it comes to clients, the client is supposed to do the work when they are signing up for mentorship, but they didn't. Okay, so here, what's the thing? I need to be, in order to be in my full power, I need to be clear and honest with myself and to tell myself, Marina, you delivered something extremely valuable, but you devalued yourself, you didn't set the correct price, and you didn't have terms and conditions that are very clear. So, this partner didn't share the revenue in the correct way as they promised, but you also play a big part in this because you didn't secure the contract with lawyers and your accountants. You understand that in order for you to run multi 6 and 7 figure business, you need to have this, right? You get it, that this is not just a magic. And you need to have the structure and the setup to attract and to hold this money. Okay? Why did this happen? Because I allowed it to happen. And now, since I allowed this to happen, and I didn't had the contracts and didn't set up everything correctly, I am now in the reaction phase. What happened? Why this happened? When I could have checked my partnership contracts or had a partnership contract that was checked by an international lawyer and accountant and not let this happen. I could have secured myself in advance. Same with, for example, a client who didn't do the work and now is requesting a refund. I am sorry, I love you, I am very excited to work with you, but you didn't do your part of the work, and on my sales page it is clearly stated in the disclaimer and the terms and conditions that there are no refunds and that you're also responsible for your results. You didn't show up on 3 calls, so you are not doing your part of the work. Do you understand this? Your responsibility, your part in this. Being honest with yourself and yes, admitting, okay, I made a mistake, I feel bad, I feel lied to, I feel betrayed. Giving yourself time, yes, to process this, and then saying, okay, I can keep crying or I can fix. and add terms and conditions to each and every sales page. Or I will never again work without a contract for anyone, or I'm not ever going to devalue myself by decreasing the price or giving an extended payment plan. So think about this. Where are you doing an incredible work but not setting the correct price, the correct value, where you maybe don't have terms and conditions, disclaimers, and therefore you're receiving less than you deserve, or where you're facing too many, I don't know, chargebacks or maybe refund requests, where you understand that this is your responsibility, right? Another example, another way that this could be playing out for you is that you're giving to the wrong place or to people who don't value what you do, because simply this is not important to them. For example, in a partnership of mine, I was constantly pushing to up-level the positioning because it was totally shitty, to increase the price of the offers, to refine the offer so there is different tires, to refine the contracts with the clients, but the other person didn't want to do it. Or he was saying, yes, I would do it, yes, let's do it, yes, let's do it, but next time when a new client comes, he again uses the old shitty positioning that is totally out of space. Now, looking back, I see that I was giving gold to someone who had no idea what they were doing and didn't want to change. They were saying they wanted more impact, more money, better clients, to charge premium, but in reality they didn't want it. Now, do I see my mistake in this? Yes, I do see it. But at that stage when this happened, I was too much in my head, too much into the situation, and at that point I was not truly able to see, to put myself out of the situation and look from a different angle. Think of where you're giving to the wrong place, where for that person what you're offering is not important. Again, here the point is not to beat yourself up, but to be very honest and to take radical responsibility for your choices, decisions, feelings, thoughts, and actions. So in my situation, yes, I saw these red flags 10 million times, but I somehow kept believing this is going to change. And this was not changing and not changing. And I should have exited earlier, but unfortunately I didn't. Okay? This could also happen in your personal life. For example, and this have happened to me, and I will tell you also why I'm giving you this example. For example, let's take a regular relationship. You might be cooking while your partner wants intimacy, connection, quality time with you. Your partner, for example, expects support, expects your presence, expects you to be sexy, sexual, sensual. But you are the queen who is constantly working, and you say, I work and I cook. And no one appreciates it. He doesn't appreciate me. Because this is not important to him. This is not valuable to him. He wants something else. Or you say, I make, like I have been there, I'm so successful, I do so many things, I make this much money, why isn't he appreciating me? And I constantly speak of work, what happened in my work, in my business, how a client, blah, 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 blah. And I feel as if, that was before my current fiance, he might not appreciate your professional success because what he truly wants is not another man for him to be on a war with. He has been on a war all day long dealing with his own business. And what he truly wants is your softness, your femininity, your presence, not constantly bragging and displaying your achievements, because this way he feels as if he is at work. And when he has a woman next to him or a wife, he wants this wife to be feminine, to be sensual, to be sexual. And you might be showing up like, look at me, how much money I make and how successful I am, like this boss babe. But this is hurting your relationship because of the way you are doing it. It's not that he doesn't appreciate your success and is not proud of how much money you make. It's the way you are doing it, and that you're cocky about it, that you're sassy. And you forget to be a woman. Because for him, it might not be important, your financial or business success, in terms of, yes, he appreciates you, he values this success, he is proud of you, but it is more important for him to come home to a wife who is calm, feminine, nice, not stressed, not exhausted from work. Hi, I have been there. I know in this situation my clients get a shitty version of me because I am exhausted, and my fiance gets a shitty wife because I'm exhausted. And he wants me to be laughing, to be enjoying his company. He wants to find someone like a woman who is having fun, who is smiling, who is not drained. He wants connection, attention, and affection. And I'm sharing this because you're trying to do everything and to brag about your business and income, but this is draining your energy. Not because your partner devalues you, but because you're giving him things that are not important to him. And this way, you're unhappy in your business, you're unhappy in your relationship. What happens? The frequency is unhappy as a whole. When you could close the door, close your laptop, and say, I'm done with the work, and go be the feminine woman with your boyfriend, fiance, husband, etc. The loving one, the supportive one. And this way, you're also going to recharge and you will have energy to put in your business. Otherwise, you're wasting your energy. Instead of being fully expressed as the queen in your business and the feminine, supportive woman with your partner. And this is a common mistake, and I personally have made it a couple of times. And sometimes I do it unconsciously, of course, but the moment I realize it, I completely change the course. There is another scenario, and this might hurt a little. Is that you're fantasizing that you're doing something incredible and valuable, but in reality it's not. And this often happens when you're doing too many things in your business. For example, let's say you're a relationship or health coach or weight loss, but you're trying to handle all the marketing, all the sales, and everything yourself. Your clients don't care about the sales or the marketing. You might think, I'm doing so much, and my clients don't appreciate it. And yes, they won't, because they come to you to transform their relationship, their self-worth, to fix the relationship, the marriage, to reach the next level, to improve their health, to become fit. They don't care about how much money you make or how fancy your marketing is. I see this a lot. Just a couple of weeks ago, I spoke to 3 people in the relationship and couple therapy niche. They told me I had secured, let's say, 100k months, clients booked for all of the next year, 2026, but something was missing. They started resigning. They started canceling their memberships. What happened? And I told them, well, look, you went too far in the fancy marketing stuff. Clients don't care about how much money you make or being pushed through long-term packages. They need to trust you first. In the relationship niche, this is all about trust, the self-work, the self-worth, childhood trauma. So clients need to feel deeply safe with you. If you focus on sales instead of the service, how you're serving them, how you're helping them, instead of like the actual work that you're doing and the transformation you deliver, they will feel not safe. They would not like it. They would not appreciate anything else because that's not your job. You're not a business mentor to brag with your income. And I see this a lot with online health, nutrition, weight loss, wellness coaches. Like sometimes they start talking about, I made 7 figures in my business. Yes, this shows confidence because your body was so good and you felt so confident that you went and made 7 figures. These results are part of your authority, but your clients don't care about your money or your fancy body. They care about what you can do for them and how you make them feel. Even if you want to post about your results or lifestyle, like your money, I mean, the money that, like, the money you make, the lifestyle you are able to afford, that is fine. But do it sparingly. One post here and there is fine. If you go into constantly highlighting it, this can actually disservice your brand and your clients. So think about, are you doing this somehow like fantasizing that you're doing something very valuable to your clients when in fact it's not valuable to them and they are saying, why are you telling me this? I don't care. Don't talk to me about that. I even feel that way with business mentors when they are constantly, I don't know how much money, but everyone in their containers feels terrible. There is no support. People are leaving and hating it. And I'm like, I don't care how much money you make. I want to know if you're going to dive deep with me on the things I cannot see, the things that I cannot get myself out of this situation, put myself on the side and look from a different lens. I don't care how much money you make if you don't help me do this. Okay, so think always when you are creating content, when you're doing anything in your business, always think not is this valuable to me, but is this valuable to my client? If not, you'd better not waste time on it. And the fourth scenario, and I want you to open your mind beyond just business, because once again, what happens in your life directly affects your business. When your energy is stuck, frustrated, or drained, you carry it into your business. And you carry it into your relationship with your husband, children, health, with the relationship with yourself. This is why it is so important to analyze this and to do the work, so you can clear your channel. Allow your energy to flow freely and step fully into your queen role. Trying to do everything everywhere for everyone is not how it's working. I know you're a high achiever, you're brilliant at what you do, but this is how you stay in the pumpkin role, trying to validate yourself with the wrong things or trying to do everything. trying to be like someone else. That's how you're giving your power away. So the fourth scenario is when you're giving too much and feeling unappreciated or offended. So many of you are constantly offended at something. And I also have been there before I do this work, because I genuinely love to give. But when people don't appreciate it, it hurts. And it took me a long time and a lot of work on myself to set boundaries with myself. I started talking about that in the beginning, and I will finish with the same. Boundaries with yourself. Understand that sometimes people don't even want what you're giving. They don't need it. For example, you may stack bonuses, modules, extra content, thinking you're adding value, but your premium client totally don't care of it. They want quick result. They want clearly, they want quickly, they want simply. 3 clear actionable modules are worth far more than 17 extra modules that no one will watch or implement. It happened to me in the beginning when I was giving so much so, and one client told me, I don't want this information. I want the actionable steps. Like, for example, when I sign up for a masterclass course, blah, 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 and then there is a whole session on some personal story. And I'm seriously very bored. I know many people relate to that, but to me this is not important. To me this is not important. I am like, tell me, where am I wrong? Where are my mistakes? Where are my bottlenecks? Or what I'm not doing the way it should be done? Give me 2, 3, 5, 10 steps. I go implement and end the story. So think about it. Are you giving too much somewhere without it being needed and wanted? Like, maybe you could just send 3 or 5 emails that are extremely potent, speaking to transformation, desire, storytelling, and like what they're going to get out of this program, sending 3 or 5 emails that are very, very potent, then spamming your clients with 17 emails. Same in your relationship, same with yourself. For example, you value 3 things. Let's say, get back to the section where we spoke of that. You are having these 3 values, whatever they are for you, but you're trying to do something that's valuable for her. And your inner self and your higher self is, why the fuck are you giving me this shit? I don't want it. This is not important to me. Okay? Think like layering subconscious, unconscious. Think of this. And analyze which of these 4 scenarios are you showing up in your life, in your business, in your relationship. Write them down. Once you see them, you can start shifting out of the pumpkin role and stepping fully into your queen power. The other thing is balance. Think about where you're not balanced in your life. How much time do you give first to yourself? If you do not have energy, you cannot give to your partner, to your business, to your children, to your family. You can't. Do you have at least, 1 hour per day, or how much you need? 1 day per week where you can truly decompress. Like, I often burn out because I'm not giving myself this break. And in the last 2 years, since I'm with my fiance, I noticed that I used to have a lot of time for myself to decompress, and now I don't have this time. And I need time, and I started telling him, look, honey, I need to go to the other room and stay by myself in silence for 2 hours. I love you. There's nothing wrong. I just need time for myself. I don't know if this is you, but this is relevant for me. And if I don't have this time for myself to decompress, I just can't function. I love sitting in silence, even not working out, not checking Telegram, not sending emails, not scrolling online. Just spend a couple of hours for myself. Free from people's demands, from drama, from noise, from anything. And this is very crucial. Balance is a key for energy, focus, and clarity. And I have seen this with businesses that make millions of dollars. If there is no balance inside, everyone is going crazy. So balance your time between yourself, your partner, your children, and your business. Try to, I know this is not easy, and ideally it should be distributed that to make it feel roughly equal, like 25% each. This is not happening in reality, but try to balance it. Okay, let's say maybe you work 3 days really hard in your business, then Saturday and Sunday just relax and be with your family. Find one day for yourself. Like I had a period, a season in my business when I was having Wednesdays for myself. I was not working with clients. I was posting online, but I was like having almost the whole day for me. Friday I was working on my business, like the CEO day, or the opposite. I don't remember how exactly I was doing it. Saturday and Sunday I was, I don't know, going out with friends, things like that. And Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday I was working with clients. And I somehow found this balance for myself. Okay, so find what's working for you. Okay, what's working for you? What is going to be your balance? Right now I'm trying to find my balance because at some point that was no longer working. But find your balance. How are you going to set this up? Release resentment, judgment. Release energy spent on anger, on being annoyed, comparison, worrying about things that are not happening instantly or that do not depend on you. Release it. Forgive and let go. Yes, it's not easy, but this will free immense energy. Like this partnership that I'm telling you that left me cracked open. Yeah, I'm realizing I'm giving myself time to suffer a little bit, but I'm telling myself, this is nonsense. I have no time for this. I have no time for this. Yeah, and I gave myself a little bit of time to go through it, but then you know what, I'm sick of this. I don't care anymore. This is insignificant. Like, I don't want to spend time on this drama. Let it go. Start valuing yourself first, no matter how much money you make or how many clients you have. Then transfer this sense of value and self-respect into your business, your work, and the way you show up in the world. Balance creates power, clarity, and the ability to scale your business out of this world. Outsource, delegate, do the things you love doing and that are important to your clients. Hire help, release the pressure, let go. Someone screwed you somewhere. Okay, go live your life, be happy. And now we're going to do one last practice, and then we're going to finish. Okay, this exercise is extremely powerful because it takes you from the pure energetic work into the actual practical work, the integration and the embodiment of your value. This is again a guided visualization and activation, and we are going to finish with this. So it will take us 5 minutes or less. Take one pillow if you wish, or take something that is going to play the role of your ideal client. Close your eyes and put this pillow in front of you. And now imagine your high ticket offer and picture the ideal client sitting across from you. Tell them the price of your offer. How does it feel? Like, for example, let's use 5K. Is it much less than the value of what you're offering? Feel the transformation this offer brings, but feel it really in your body. And notice how it resonates in your body, your stomach, your chest, your throat. What's the price? Maybe it's 5K, maybe you're offering your 25K mastermind or one-on-one proximity work. How does this price feel? Too much, too little, okay, fine. Now, imagine telling this same client double the price. For example, if you said 5K, now say 10K. If you said 25K, now say 50K. How does it feel? Is it too much? Is it too little? Comfortable? And now look at your ideal client again. Stand tall. Fully embody your highest value energy, that wow energy. You're in your high power. And now triple the price. Hyper incredible, transformative, life-changing. Triple the price. If it was 5K, say 15. If it was 25, now say 75. How does it feel to say that? I'm a high value professional, mentor, coach, woman, whatever. I'm a premium mentor, coach, service provider. My work is incredible, valuable, and transformative, and I deserve to be well paid. Working with me is a privilege and luxury. Now, notice how this feels in your body. To me, it feels like, ooh, spicy, tasty, ooh, I like it. And allow yourself to fully experience the embodiment of this queen energy, this high value energy, high ticket energy. And now take some time to reflect on this. What was the price you said? How did you feel it in your body? How did it change when you said double and when you tripled the price? Which version of yourself was speaking then? Was it the pumpkin or the queen? What are you allowing yourself from this moment onward? And I want you now to make your declaration. Stand or sit with presence and repeat. From this moment on, I no longer lower my price to be chosen. I no longer overgive to be appreciated. I no longer chase validation through discounts or proving my worth. From this moment on, I commit to myself and my success. I embody my value. I speak my worth with ease and power. I charge as the queen I am, as the powerhouse I am. My offers are magnetic. My presence is premium. My work is luxury. To work with me is a privilege. I allow myself to receive with grace. How do you feel? Do this for 21 days at least until it becomes your normal feeling. You can do this exercise by yourself with some nice music, deep breathing, to take a few moments of stillness. You can journal this. And this is where we end. What we've done today is a combination of energy transformation and practical business strategy. Everything you feel, everything you identify as a block or as a trigger that directly impacts your revenue, pricing, clients, and how your business grows. Working on your energy and integrating these practices is not just a spiritual exercise. We are not just having conversations here. It's a business strategy. And when you learn to value yourself properly and charge what you're worth and focus your energy on the right people, you automatically increase revenue, attract ideal clients, and create premium positioning that sells itself. It all starts from within. Thoughts, decisions, actions, feelings, values, boundaries. And when these are aligned, your business works for you, not the other way around. And this is the first step in your transformation from a pumpkin to queen in your business. Now you can rewatch this masterclass, all the triggers, work on them, notice where you get offended, what made you feel like you're devaluing yourself, and on the other side of the coin, where are you reacting from ego, such as I'm so good and they don't appreciate me. I will put the homework in the success circle. You can have access to it. And thank you for being with me. I love that. Bye.